Woo! Okay, we're here. We are here. Yes, guys, how are you all doing? How we doing? Super chat already from Africa Prince for stuffed beetroot buckwheat pancakes, I guess. Thank you, mate. I can tell you now, they were absolutely incredible. Yes, guys, welcome back to a Chelsea Transfer News Live here on GBFC, where we're going to go through the updates or lack of updates and all of that stuff. Make sure you are subscribed to GBFC so you don't miss anything over the course of this summer. But we are very much looking and hoping that we're going to get something to talk about today. So, just give me 1 second. And we get this back up and running. Okay, watching in Vermont. Nice one, bro. Respect for the daily stream, even though there's nothing happening. I mean, look, we get to go through everything together. I feel like it's one of those where if I was to start disappearing now, we've kind of committed to where we're going to do a stream in the middle of the day. We're going to do the news in the morning, and then we might do the news again in the evening/afternoon. Fresh out the shower, mate. I've had a little trim so that we can look fresh and sharp for these streams. And yeah, we are very much hoping that today is the day. Like, how many flipping times? I'm genuinely not going to talk about Hato and Simmons until there's genuinely some updates now, because, I mean, what is going on? We've all got to be patient, I get it, but I feel like it's partly, like, we're all excited because the reporting has been done, so, you know, it sounds to me as if it's been almost flipping close now for a week, like, what they're flipping doing, do you know what I mean? End the stream, then some news will drop. Well, we've got 700 of you in here already in the first 2.5 minutes, so big up to each and every one of you. Thought we'd go live a little bit later today. It's a beautiful day here. I've just been on the tennis court, jumped in the shower, and here we are. We're going to just chat Chelsea for a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about Marc Guiu to Sunderland. We're going to wait until the 5th minute, and then we will jump into the news. Big up to Lance Cold. Guys, let me know in the stream where you are watching from right now. Always love to see where you're tuning in from. I'm coming in from Vermont in the USA right now. Oh, I'm still sweating. Greetings from Slovenia, from Namibia. Mevolution coming in with a £10 donation. I'm getting the feeling that we haven't signed them yet, as we need to sell in Kunku, Kani and Vega. There's no way negotiations take this long, and you also don't play a player at risk of injury. Well, there you go. I think you might be right, mate. I think you're spot on with that. All right, we've got Indonesia in the building. Essex, Ireland, Pennsylvania, Hong Kong, New Jersey, Pensacola, Bangkok, Thailand, Portsmouth, England, Wokingham, Washington State, India, Massachusetts. We have got California. Hope everyone is okay from the earthquake yesterday that happened near Russia. Lagos, best streams. Thank you very much, Aqua. Thank you. Bangladesh from Ramen. John Gillespie from Italy. Sounds like a very English name, but we're happy you're in Italy, mate. Get a bit of sun. Big up to you, LR25. Big up to the Mandem in Lanzarote, Isle of Wight, Frimley, Surrey, Texas. And let's go. Let's have a little look then. Pice has tweeted, has he? Let's get the show on the road then, boys. And ladies too, of course. Let's have a look at what there is to discuss here. All right, this is an update from Fabrizio, but Pius has tweeted this here. Let me just quickly see where we are. Nicholas Jackson situation. If United get Seshko, he could be an option for Newcastle. If Newcastle gets Seshko, we know Chelsea appreciate Garnacho, so there could be some solution there. The striker domino will be driven in the next days. Important to remember, Chelsea are happy to keep Jackson and are still requesting important money. So this is about who's going to budge the most between Chelsea and Manchester United, in my opinion, because Chelsea want 80 million for Nicholas Jackson, which Man United probably don't have 80 million for Nicholas Jackson, and Man United want 50 million for Garnacho, but Chelsea only want to spend 30 million on Garnacho. So in both ways here, there are two players that the selling clubs value significantly higher than what the buying clubs want to pay. So with Nicholas Jackson, I would rather keep Jackson than get Garnacho. But if we actually just factor in what that deal could mean, if Chelsea ended up getting 50 million and Garnacho for Jackson, I think that could be a great deal. I just don't think it's going to work that way. I don't think it's going to be right. That's the valuation. That's the valuation. Plus that, minus that, and then we get that. Do you know what I mean? I think if anything... I mean, what are you saying? Matthew Farmer's saying Man United should pay 85 million for Jackson. Oh, mate, I would much rather keep Nico Jackson at Chelsea and not sign Garnacho. Like, if anything, we need more up front than we do another winger. I just think Chelsea look at Garnacho as an opportunity, which I know we've heard that buzzword and it's pissing people off at this point. It's definitely pissing me off. I kind of want the transfer window to be over. I'm not going to lie. Every day at the minute, it's kind of, how are the journalists going to word it? Strasbourg watch along. Are they playing now? Day 5 of getting ignored by George. I mean, if you get ignored 5 days in a row, you've got to be doing something quite bad in the chat, to be fair, because like I literally spend my whole time streaming reading the chat. So we're very connected here. Over 1,000 of you in the stream already. Shout out to all of you who have joined the GBFC stream. That's a good point. Nkunku must leave Chelsea because the club want to make space for Xavi Simons. Nkunku is on Inter's list, but only if Lookman does not arrive. So there is actually big updates here. So it looks as though the big delay regarding Xavi Simons to Chelsea is very much because we haven't yet sold Christopher Nkunku. Thank you, Africa Prince, for the donation. Feels like Jackson needs a chance to prove himself. Yes, he's made some blunders this season, but we all made knowing... Wait, okay, no matter what happens, he'll be back in the squad next game. That's true. I don't know if I've butchered that or if that was poorly worded, but whatever. I do agree with you. I understand what you're saying, so it's irrelevant. I think the pressure last season was that there wasn't enough pressure, which in itself is a bigger pressure. You see where I'm going with that? Now, any one of Delap, Pedro, Jackson basically cannot have a stinker because they're just going to get hooked. Shout out to all of you in the chat right now. But it does seem as though it could be Nkunku's exit holding up the Xavi Simons deal. So let's take a look at Fabrizio as well, because there has been other Chelsea stories today that we're going to go through now. There's Jed Spence with a cigar. Where are we? Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen will land in Istanbul tonight with record attendance from Galatasaray fans. Good luck to the bloke. Where is the latest here? Okay, so Sunderland are among 3 clubs asking for Marc Guiu on loan as Chelsea are open to this solution. Chelsea want full salary paid and no buyback clause. Straight loan and then back next season. I think Chelsea really see Marc Guiu as a great option for the future. I think he's done enough at Chelsea already in his career. Even from the flipping pre-season, right? You could see that there's something about this guy. And I'm going to talk about him in a second, but I'll get the super chat from Mario first. Thank you, mate. Don't want to be negative, but it's starting to feel like Simons is going to this year's transfer that drags to almost deadline day. I think Chelsea are really trying to push for outgoings right now. But let's talk about Marc Guiu here. Because Sunderland, a promoted Premier League club, I always say that I would love the players that aren't going to get a chance to go to a promoted club and try and make your mark and be a reason why that club stays in the league. But then that's also not a guarantee. And with Marc Guiu, I mean, Sunderland's attackers right now. Let me have a little look through their squad, because I don't want him to go there and not play. I would much rather Marc Guiu went to a championship team where he's going to be playing every week, hopefully fighting for promotion, playoffs, and all of that stuff. I would love for Marc Guiu to do that. I also think he would tear up the championship. Like, I can't be the only person who thinks Marc Guiu in the championship would just absolutely slap. So let's have a look at Sunderland. So at Sunderland, oh my God, they've got so many players. Poveda, who was good in the championship, he's up front. Luis Semedo is their number 9. Simon Adingra is signed from Brighton, but he's not really a striker per se. Wilson Isidore, who's apparently a decent footballer. So what do we think? Marc Guiu to Sunderland. Are we backing this? Ipswich should sign him as a replacement for Delap. I think that would be great. I'd love that. I'd love to see that. I think Ipswich are going to do very well in the Championship next season. I think Ipswich might come straight back up. All right, Mark Gandolfi and Jamie and the anonymous one and Bryn are saying yes, and Emmanuel Batson is saying no. Why are you saying no, Emmanuel? I like you to get Prem experience. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I wonder what the better option actually is. Would you rather Marc Guiu went to a championship team, played every game, and got promoted, or get Premier League experience with a team getting battered every week and get relegated? That's the question. And I genuinely think it could be that simple, you know. It could be, I mean, I think Sunderland are going to be okay. I think Sunderland will stay up. I think their business so far has been very good. But I just think also Ipswich would do very well. So let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. This seems like a good opportunity for the first poll of the stream. Okay. Where would you rather Guiu go? Prem team, but in relegation scrap. Championship promotion contender. Okay, so read it carefully. Where would you rather Guiu go? Prem team, but in a relegation scrap. Championship promotion contender. Let's do it. The poll is there. Where would you rather Marc Guiu go? Prem but potential relegation scrap or championship promotion contender? Those are the options. Good to see you, Vertzi. Starbucks Smeg, thank you for the donation. Depends how Guiu performs individually in the Prem. This is the question. This is the debate. It's kind of an active thought exercise, one could say. I would love to see Marc Guiu go to Coventry. I've just seen 2 people in the chat say that too. I think that would be fantastic. Liverpool bid for Isak. Is that true? If so, that is probably the biggest news of the week on a stream. For sure. Wow. Ben Jacobs is saying this. Manchester United moving ahead with Benjamin Sesko after sending a delegation to Germany for face-to-face talks earlier this week. So that would rule out Manchester United going for Nicholas Jackson if that's the case. Okay, I see it's the same guy saying that Liverpool have actually bid. Yeah, don't worry about it. Spam. Morgan Rogers, new deal, Aston Villa. Where are you reading that? Wrexham. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here on this poll. You're saying 60% of you are saying a championship loan, 59% now. CFC Pice has tweeted again. Let's have a look at the latest. Oh, wow. Morgan Rogers is expected to sign new deal at Aston Villa. I mean, I think that was always going to happen if Chelsea diverted their attention towards Xavi Simons. So that means Morgan Rogers this summer would very much be an off-the-table deal. Morgan Rogers set to stay at Aston Villa, apparently. Newcastle, yeah, I think Newcastle are going to end up with no options left but to buy Nicholas Jackson, to be honest. So let's hope, well, I guess let's hope Liverpool do put the offer in if we want to sell him. I don't want to sell him. But if Chelsea are hoping for the most money, that will definitely come by Newcastle selling Isak. Wow. Has Isak agreed personal terms with Liverpool? I mean, I don't think that's going to be a problem, but I haven't seen that he has. But yeah. We are champions of the world. Thank you for reminding us, Johnny. We absolutely are, Sunshine. I've definitely got to make some kind of world champions something to have in the set for the new set. Hi, love. You okay? Oh, yes. Yeah, we could do lunch now. No, I could have now. I could have now. Yeah. Okay, so this is the latest here from Pice's personal account. Xavi wants Chelsea, but still no full agreement on every detail of personal terms, only broadly. Well, what the flipping hell are we waiting for? As per The Athletic, Leipzig need to sell one of Šeško or Simons to help balance the books. If Šeško goes first, it could make things difficult. Chelsea must be faster. I mean, that does all make logical sense because the whole Benjamin Šeško thing, he had half of Europe wanting to buy him, and then all of a sudden everyone in Europe bought a striker. So Leipzig's capacity to get the most money for Šeško, that boat has sailed. So, I mean, Chelsea, are they going to gamble on the fact that we're definitely going to sell Nkunku? And or Jackson? Get someone to 3D print the trophy. That could look quite cool. Thank you, Africa Prince, again for the donation. Good morning, Jason. Mevolution again with a big super chat. Thank you, buddy. Just waiting for your message to pop up again. These deals are giving off Minion vibes. We're told we were so close every day. The directors were being stingy over 4 million and pulled out. They can't keep taking us forward every window. Can't keep taking us for a ride every window. Sorry, I don't know why, but the super chats take forever to load. Thank you again for that, by the way. But yeah, it does. The longer it goes on, the more it does get that feeling that something might be off with the deal. Thank you, a random guy, for the donation. Would you rather top-class keeper or Simons? I think Simons. I say these always with like kind of looking the other way because that implies that I'm backing Sanchez for now, which I kind of am. Kind of am. I have no life, been watching George Benson all day in my bed. Top man, thank you. But I would say get out and get some exercise done as well. That's what I've done today. Guys, we've got 1,500 people in the stream, but we've only got less than 300 likes. What are we doing? Make sure you smash the like button on the stream. Ben Jacobs tweeting as well. At least we're actually getting some, like, a flow of updates and stuff. Here we go. There's big Victor Osimhen en route to Galatasaray. Who would have thunk it? Once again, Chelsea go another transfer window without signing him. But it's fine. I'm over it. I'm over it. Benjamin Šeško to Manchester United is seemingly gathering some pace. The United Stands tweet from July 17th. Ben Jacobs giving it the eyes emoji, which would rule out Manchester United from signing Nicholas Jackson. Thank you, Ty, for the donation. Not going to lie, I'm beginning to lose optimism with these two sporting signings. The sporting director is playing about now. I mean, maybe. Guys, make sure you do hit that like button on the stream. Dana Rimmer. That's so funny how both vowels are perfectly out of place. It's Donnarumma's brother, Donnarumma. Osimhen is the new Hulk for Chelsea. Trust me, we'll see links again at some point. Like, I don't think he signs for Galatasaray and stays there for 5 years. There's no way. Give Leipzig 50 million and Broja for Simmons. I'm guessing that's what you meant there. Yeah, Osimhen is about to become a Galatasaray player. Announced, signed, sealed, delivered. He is theirs. Oh, okay. There is an update on a sponsor, but not a front of shirt sponsor. Chelsea have a new multi-year partnership to become the new Wait. Why does X do that? I'm in the middle of reading something and then it refreshes to something completely different on the screen. But Chelsea have got a new catering company partner. What a signing. Big day. And the catering company is Georgie Day's Recipes. It took 5 minutes for fans to turn on the club again. Remind me where anyone's turned on the club? To be honest, I think as much as we've praised everybody at Chelsea, rightly so, I still think people have the right to ask questions about what does happen with these deals. Like, is it that we just really are not going to budge on anything when we have our valuations of the player? We're not willing to negotiate outside of the terms that we suggest, which would be fair enough from a business side. Or is it the fact that we do get these big players very close, apparently, or, well, as we're led to believe from everybody, and then somehow we don't get them over the line? I think it's more than fair for people to have reservations based on the fact that we were very close to signing Michael Olise, Victor Osimhen, two world-class footballers, and then we didn't get it over the line. So I think people have the right to still be like, okay, well, Jorrel, Hato and Xavi Simons, how close have Chelsea been for so long? What are we actually gonna buy these players? Like, what are we talking about? Rio Nguma is a baller. Why did we sell him? Yeah, my best mate is a Liverpool fan, and he was texting me earlier about how excited he is about him. And as much as Liverpool obviously have spent a flipping fortune on players, and they're about to break the flipping Premier League record to get Isak, I also think Rio will get opportunities. Oh, thank you, darling. But yeah, they are. People are currently basing it off of us, but it's assumptions based off of historical information that we know, right? Like, we know that we were close to getting certain players and then didn't. So it's not like it's not blind assumption. There is assumption with reasoning and rationale behind it. So yeah, whatever. I think we have to be very careful here. It's very easy for fans to turn on one another because of an overreaction to something. Coffee, George. No, I've already had my coffees today. My current routine is to have a decaf after my dinner, which is lovely. It's like I'm in Italy having a little espresso shot. All right, 1,600 of you in the chat right now. Make sure you're subscribed to GBFC and smash the like button if you haven't already done so. We've actually had a few updates come through this morning, or this afternoon, should I say, whilst we've been live. And it's the Osimhen on his way that isn't Chelsea, which we streamed for 14 hours last summer deadline day. I don't think Chelsea are going to be as active, or I don't think there's going to be as many open stories this coming deadline day. But you never know. Latest news on Hato. Man, honestly, I don't even want to talk about it that much, really, because there's nothing updated. Chelsea have been really close to signing Jorrel Hato now for days and days and days and days. But don't you feel like the transfer window these days has just become so dramatized? Like, it feels like we tune in every day and it's like a soap opera, you know? It's like EastEnders and Coronation Street. We get these like 11:30 at night updates before the journalists so-called sleep. And these updates are about the players that it's literally the same information. Like, what's changed really in the past 4 or 5 days for either player? So that's why people are questioning it right now. So let's see what the poll is saying about the Marc Guiu loan. It's so close. Wow, nearly 50-50. 48% of you are saying a Prem deal, but potential relegation scrap. And 52% are saying championship promotion contender. They maybe do the deals together. They can't. There were two separate clubs, like Leipzig and Ajax. You can't just merge the two together. Tim B was there for every minute of the Osimhen stream, bro. It was such an anticlimax in the end, wasn't it? Like, yeah, all well and good. We signed Jadon Sancho. Great, great, great. But I mean, look, we can't blame anybody. It's just I do think it would be better if there was actually updates that came when there was genuine progression or like regression with the deal, as opposed to when it's at the same place. But I guess that is what the update is. So I think basically we all complain about it purely because we want to hear certain things, myself included. So, but I don't like the percentages. I'll say that and I'll leave it there. Otherwise, I'm just complaining for the sake of it now. Chelsea edging us badly. As a Coventry fan, you'd be happy to take him on loan. Hope they sign before my birthday would be a nice gift, says Ty. Thank you for the super chat. Someone behind me. Yes, it is. It's my wonderful girlfriend. She's making me lunch. She's always making me food when we stream. Yeah, it's either breakfast time or lunch or dinner time, to be fair. Yeah, Emmanuel Amiga, the news should be rotating on the little... There you go. Emmanuel Amiga and Chelsea are close to a contracted agreement for next summer. Chelsea will be having 2 new strikers join next summer. Dastan Satpayev too, who I've made... Yesterday's evening video was talking about Dastan Satpayev, and he scored in the Champions League. He's 16 years old from Kazakhstan, but he looks like an absolute baller. David Patrol Fontana. Wow. I mean, you could actually probably get away with that being someone's name. David Patrol Fontana. I think you mean David Datro Fofana, but love that. Ekatike looked rubbish yesterday. Yeah, to be fair. But then also, Chelsea Football Club started pre-season last year by getting battered by Celtic, and then we won the Club World Cup a year later. So friendlies and the results don't matter. Yes, we get upset when we don't win. That's football. But yeah, it's I wouldn't be too worried about it, and I don't think that is a telltale sign that Ekatike is going to be a failed signing for Liverpool, as much as I'd like it to be. Dastan also got an assist. He did, yeah, goal and an assist. Santos, Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Asugo. Yep. Didn't we lose to Wrexham? No, we drew with Wrexham 2-2. But we were lucky to draw, actually. We played very, very poorly in that game. Seeing the difference in America this year between the way that we performed at pre-season last year, which was really quite atrocious, to be fair. As much as it was fun going to all the games and driving around and travelling, like, that really was the highlight. The football was atrocious. But the Club World Cup was a different story. Turn your mic up. The gain is already really high, to be fair. I've just turned it up a notch now, but it says I'm peaking. So that might be a bit loud. We need a 6 things we learnt video from the transfer window when it closes. I don't know. I think there's enough 6 things we learnt. I want to keep it for the games, for the football. Who do I think has strengthened the most? Probably Chelsea at the moment, to be fair. Sunderland have done good business for the promoted teams. Burnley have lost a lot of people. It's very loud. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. I turned it down. Don't you worry. Africa Prince, thank you again for the super chat. I'm just waiting for it to load up now so I can read your message. What do I think will be better this year? The relegation scrap or the title race? Both are going to be immense, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a great Premier League season. I think it's going to be a really entertaining season. I think the title race is going to be between 4 teams. The teams that got top 4 last season. I think Tottenham are going to surprise people. Give him moderator. Yeah, good point. Africa Prince has very much been there. Donating every stream. What a legend. Oh. It almost asked me to time him out. It's not letting me make him a mod. Ah, now it is. Say hi to my young lady. Hello, young lady. Young lady is like a nice way of like saying hello to someone, though, isn't it? Hello, young lady. Like that. Yeah, I guess so. Especially in the modern world, everyone must be like, no, Benson, you can't say that. That's creepy. What do I think about this young lad from Kazakhstan? He just does look very, very solid. People are comparing him to Sergio Aguero. He scored a great goal, like an actual proper, like, outside the box, bottom corner, low and hard, put it in there. And it was a great goal. And he does have a lot of goals and assists to his name already at such a young age. All right. 50. The poll is literally 50-50 right now. This is probably the closest poll we've ever done. So get voting now. Oh, my food is ready. We have got some chicken wraps today. Chicken rhapsodies. Oh, wow. Mmm.
That's the only one without salsa. The other one's like, do you want salsa in that one as well?
No, it's okay, thank you. Maybe a tissue, though. Honestly, chicken wraps for a live stream, it's easy. So delicious. Mmm. Chicken, yeah, we're eating chicken right now. Thank you again for the super chat. Honestly, the food is just unbelievable. Put a ring on it, they're saying. Well, if you guys buy your shirt with my discount code GBFC10, I might be able to afford to. So help a brother out, all right? Head over to the Chelsea Megastore and use the discount code GBFC10 for 10% off everything at the Megastore. Feel like that was the perfect time for a plug. Esteval, 20 plus goals first season. Imagine. That'd be unbelievable. I actually do have a very cool girlfriend. We also just played some very vigorous tennis together before I went live. Or send super chats. Shameless, mate. It's the best way to be. You are English. You don't know food. Well, I might be English, but I certainly haven't lived there for a very long time, so I do know food. Chelsea win the Prem or England win the World Cup? Oh, my word. That's a horrible question. Like, it's actually one of the hardest questions to answer in the world because I've never experienced England winning the World Cup, and I do feel like it would be possibly like the pinnacle of everything because I've already witnessed Chelsea win everything. Like every single trophy there is to win. I've witnessed it already. And I think it would be cool because like all my mates, they support different teams. But imagine if for one time only we're all celebrating together and everyone's celebrating. Do you know what I mean? They do come in super chats, yeah. Thank you. Have I ever played paddle? Yes, but it's just not tennis. It's too easy. Honestly, this food is unreal. Enak banget. I didn't ignore your super chat question. I literally answered it. I said England. For this one time only. But if it was England win the World Cup but Chelsea can never win the Premier League again, no thank you. I'm saying Chelsea to win the Prem. Benson, do you know if Chelsea kits will have the Club World Cup winners badge on every kit or just the specific one in the store? I want the away kit. I honestly don't know why we would have the Club World Cup winners badge only on the home kits. I think that'd be ridiculous. So I'm hoping that they're on every single one because I'm kind of waiting for that right now. But thank you, Virtue, for the super chat. The dog is sat next to me. He always sits right on the floor next to me when I'm streaming. Leaving the dog tomorrow. So unfortunately, tomorrow will be the last stream for 2 days. But then as soon as I'm back to England, the streams are back. Renato Vega, Al Nassr link. I don't think he'd want to go there. I think if there's Premier League clubs interested, he might just be like to Chelsea, look, can you please lower my price? Is it just me that prefers the old Club World Cup winners badge? Thank you, Afka. I think a lot of people do prefer the old one, but still, I just think it's something we just got to get over it. It's more what the badge represents than the aesthetic for me. Chelsea win the treble or England win the World Cup? I don't know. Simmons will happen as soon as I board the plane. Trust me. I guarantee you that'll be the case, right? We've been absolutely killing it recently with content. And then all of the important stuff will happen when Benson actually can't make any content. So, Let me just do a little refresh. Refresh Mondu. Seriously good. Nothing. Still nothing. Starbug, thank you again for the super chat. Super chat's flying in today. Have I ever been to Taiwan? Amazing foodie country, not too far to get there from Thailand. Stinky tofu, night markets, Zhao Long Bao, etc. I've never been to Taiwan. Flew over it. Looked very cool from above. Would like to go one day. But haven't been yet. Seriously good food. Check Alex Goldberg's tweet. Let me have a little look then. Checking now. He says some scaremongering going on. I mean, this is it, right? When we don't have information, the easiest thing to do is just to make big guesses. Hey, that is a big one coming in from the anonymous one. Because I am busting your balls a little, great channel. Thanks for your efforts. Yeah, I get triggered when people say I don't know food. I'm like, you don't know I don't know food. But thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it. Who is looking forward to the Bayer Leverkusen stream and the AC Milan stream? Those friendlies, those streams, these ones are going to go off. Everybody loves a friendly stream because you never know what's going to happen in a friendly. Imagine a world where you actually got 6 things we learned videos in the summer. Mad. Since when did Colwill follow me on Instagram? Since, like, literally forever. Like, I don't know when Levi did follow me, but it was a long, long time ago. Another donation from Omega Insomnia. Big up George in chat. What's your thoughts on latest Jackson rumours trying him to Barcelona? If he is playing false 9 for Mino role, he could be. I think Nicholas Jackson will be good wherever he goes, to be honest. I genuinely think he's a really good player. And I think he's probably a bit disrespected at Chelsea, to be fair. I think rightly so. People have criticised the end of season form. The red cards were atrocious. Like, really quite just petulance, really, and showing his immaturity. But I think now he's at Chelsea with 2 players that are probably already ahead of him. I think he's going to thrive. Yeah, Vertsy, that's true. See you all the time, man. Let me make you mod. I actually need the mods to do the modding, you know? We don't want Donnarumma. I'm seeing Donnarumma's name in the chat a little bit. I don't think Chelsea are going to be in for Donnarumma, to be fair. Who is better, Palmer or Wirtz? Palmer. Cheers, boys. The poll is very close. 52% saying Prem. I'll let it get to 1,500 votes. Make sure you guys are getting involved. Caicedo or Rodri? I'm saying Caicedo, man. I wouldn't have anybody playing Caicedo's position over Caicedo. Caicedo is going to go down as one of the best Chelsea midfielders of all time, if he stays for at least 5 more years. Which could be very difficult, but why not? Okay. Food is done. That was amazing. Does anyone actually think we're going to see these deals get done at some point today? Genuinely. You look very hungry. To be fair, we just played tennis and it's 30 degrees outside today. We played for 45 minutes, but I was very hungry afterwards. Why is the chat frozen? Is it actually frozen? Thank you, JSG, for the super chat. Only Chelsea activity this week is Cole Palmer hanging out with Drake in Central C. As if Drake is naming an album after Cole Palmer, Iceman. And Cole Palmer's just chilling in a music video with Drake. Like, for real. He's become an icon, man. Like, all over New York City throughout the course of the flipping tournament. In all of the billboards, to be fair. Not all of them, but, like, he was in a lot of them. Pardon me. Whoa. Refresh. Keep getting comments rejected. Well, guess what, YouTube? We're coming for you, mate. Morgan Rogers expected to sign a new deal. Can I be mod, please? Yeah, go on then. I do see you quite often in the chat as well. Just refresh my stream on YouTube. It's completely crashed on there. Going to need a lot of mods this season because we're going to be doing a lot of streaming. Once you are known in America, you know you've made it as a footballer. I actually think that statement's kind of true because there's still, like, soccer, as they call it here, but it's football. Like, it's football. It's still not nowhere near as big as I think people would expect it or like it to be because it's just not. Today is your birthday and you're a diehard Chelsea fan. Well, happy birthday to you, sir. Feel like we've been left on red for days, says Dan Noble. Grab another spindrift. We got one here. We're also on the kombuchas today. Met you at the New York Blues tailgate at the Club World Cup. Semi's biggest fan in the US. You think we are going to offload Chilwell, Sterling and Mudryk. Love you, mate. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Do I think we're going to offload those players? I'd like to think so. We keep getting these, like, random interest in Ben Chilwell from Saudi. Whether that actually happens or not remains to be seen. He's not getting any offers or any interest from England. Sterling, again, it could be Italy. I think Chelsea are trying to offload these players right now. I think if there was offers coming in for Sterling and Nkunku and players like that, I think Chelsea would have the Xavi Simons deal done. I think at the moment we're just a bit worried potentially. But that could open the door to other teams and clubs as well. Mudryk is obviously going to be appealing his ban. But he's already been out for what? Flipping 9 months? 8 months? Something like that? Marc Guiu needs a challenge. Well, the poll is so close. Let me end this poll now. So people are just about going for the Prem, but potential relegation scrap loan as opposed to Championship promotion contender. Am I moving back to England? No. Moving to Dubai, hopefully. What is the market transfer latest recap? Well, I'll let the news screenshots rotate round again. But basically, at the moment, there's no updates on either of the obvious ones. Marc Guiu is wanted by Sunderland. Chelsea in talks with Sunderland about sending Marc Guiu on loan. Nicholas Jackson to Man United looks as though it's not going to happen because Man United have gone for Benjamin Sesko, and that seems to be gathering a little bit of momentum. Soon, here we go. Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, even the excitement for the here we go is kind of like at its, like, the end of its tether, you know? But yeah, Seshko to Manchester United looks as though that's going to happen. Why am I leaving Thailand? Thailand's amazing. There's really nothing wrong with it. The main thing that's wrong with it, in my opinion, is that it's, what's it called? The time difference is too difficult for the football, twice a week. And in Dubai, it's the worst one is midnight for the 8 o'clock kickoffs, and that's fine, because that's just a bit of a late night. But having to wake up at 1 a.m. or 1:45 in the morning to then stream throughout the middle of the night, like I can't fall back to sleep easily afterwards because like I've had bright lights from the studio in my face, like, so that's why. Do I think we'll be able to pull off the Xavi deal? I mean, I'd like to think so. I would love to know why we can't. I think it would be something to do with needing sales to go through potentially first. Do we have a buyback for Ish Samuel Smith? I haven't heard that we do, actually. Mudryk is done. He is no better than Mutu and was rubbish in a Chelsea shirt anyway. That is a name that a lot of people might not know in the chat. Adrian Mutu. If you know, you know. Dubai vlogs on. Here we go. Would Xavi be another Felix? Difficult to say. What's going on, Matt? How are you, mate? Thank you again. Hopefully Friday is the day we get Here We Go. I hope it is not Friday. I hope it's today or tomorrow, because if it's on Friday, I'm traveling on Friday, which would just be so flipping typical, wouldn't it? But I'm flying at like 11:30 p.m. Friday night. So if there is anything that goes out before that, I can do my best to get airport videos back. Just piss everybody off in the waiting room. It's going to be on Friday now, 100%. Surely we've got to know about Hato as well. Like, what is the hold up there, man? Should do more collabs with Jan. I'm hopefully going to film with Jan next week. Where does the Sassy... Bro, what a great question. Where does the Sassy go? We've not really seen anything for the Sassy. Hato should be done before Friday, Xavi after Friday. I think that's realistic at this point. Although, to be honest, I don't even know what is realistic at this point, because like, where is the deal actually at, you know? Tyreek George for Prem loan. I think that's a good idea. I think that would be the best option for him. I think he could play Premier League football. He's just not going to get the minutes at Chelsea. I think that's pretty obvious with the way that we're moving in the transfer window. Man United not serious about Ollie Watkins, says Matt Law. Where has Josh gone? Josh will be on the channel as well next week. I'm filming with Josh on Monday. The collabs will be back. When are we playing our pre-season? The 8th and 10th of August against AC Milan and Bayer Leverkusen. Chelsea should sign Emiliano Martinez, but not at the price that Aston Villa have quoted. Aston Villa are wanting 45 million quid, which is way too much money. Sell all of them to Wrexham. Club need to charge Mudryk for gross misconduct. I still think there's something fishy about that whole thing. Josh Achiampong, sorry. I always keep changing it in my own head. He's wanted by Bournemouth. Well, it's almost 6 p.m. I miss Mudryk too, to be fair. I'd just love to see what he would become. Because I think the ceiling for what he could have been was incredibly high. But he was so far off of that ceiling that, like, who knows what was actually going to happen. Any updates on Vega to Atletico Madrid? Vega will not be going to Atletico Madrid because Atletico Madrid pivoted towards Hanchko. How long was the ban? I think 4 years, but it'll probably get that down to 2. In the next 5 minutes, we'll get a here we go, says Emmanuel. Let's see. 6 p.m. on a Wednesday evening is a great time for a here we go, to be fair. Why don't I live in London? The short answer is I think England and the UK is absolutely no. Done. Chelsea news always happens at 12 p.m. Well, you know what we'll get tonight, don't you? We're gonna get the flipping update on Hato being close, and here we go, coming soon. We're going to hear that at 11 o'clock tonight if we don't hear it soon. Don't I miss going to the bridge? Yes, of course I miss going to the bridge. But life's about balancing these things out and figuring out what the benefits are. And as long as the positives outweigh the negatives, probably a good decision. Nowhere's perfect in the world. Like even living in Southeast Asia and Bali and Thailand, I was living an unbelievable life. But then the downside is, to do my job, I had to be up at stupid hours in the night. But I'm all about optimization. Of being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. How many goals do I think Esteval will score this season? I'm going to say he's going to get 8 total in all competitions. Will this 8 months count to Misha's ban or not? It surely has to. Because it's not his fault that these guys are taking flipping ages to sort anything out. Would I ever want to live in the US? I would happily live in Florida or California, which I know that's a little bit cliche. But the weather in both, I love. Here we go meter back tonight. No, I don't like that. I'm not a fan. Yeah, Dubai is going to be real hot for the first bit. All right, then, Fabrizio, what have you got for us? We're 1 minute away from the mighty 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. Yeah, the additional taxes you pay in Los Angeles are mad. Esteval will get double numbers in goals. Thank you, Africa Prince. Did I see news about Semedo? I'd be up for a bit of right-back cover if James is going to be seen in midfield more. We got right-back cover. Gusto and Achampong. It's another leader and role model for the club. Could take the Thiago Silva role. Possibly. But I'm content with the defence, man. I don't think we need much. If we get this Hato deal done, then I think that is the defence done. I don't think we need more than that. Okay. Refreshing fab. No. This is so bait at this point, isn't it? Like, every day, I'm like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do these midday live streams, keep everyone up to date. And I think realistically, the real value in these streams has just been the spitballing backwards and forwards with the chat, really. So shout out to chat again. But the question is, will we get any updates today? Pice tweet. Let's have a little look. Okay, this is interesting. Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle and Liverpool have registered varying levels of interest in Marc Guiu. Crystal Palace are believed to want around 40 million quid. That's a good price for Marc Guiu, to be fair. But I think if we sign Marc Guiu, that probably means the end to one of Tosin or Trev, which I don't want to happen. So the reason I'm not too fussed about signing Marc Guiu is purely because I don't necessarily think it is 100% necessary. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Yeah, I don't think we need it, man. Okay, I'm going to do a poll, actually. I'm going to do a poll here because this would be interesting. If you had to sell one, guys, this is going to be an interesting poll. So it is, if you had to sell one for Chelsea to sign Marc Guiu, so you'd have to pick one of these defenders that Chelsea would have to sell if we are going to sign Marc Guiu. Super chat came in from Kesh. Would you sell Gusto to make Achampong our second right back? No, because I think Malo Gusto will be very important to the way that we want to play. All right, guys, get involved. This poll is interesting. 82%. Wow. Wesley Fofana is... Wow. Because I would say when he's fit, I think he might be the best of those three defenders. When he's fit. But the fitness thing is a big problem, isn't it? So 80% of the votes right now is to sell Fofana to make way for Marc Guiu, which is crazy. But still. That's what the polls are for. To get the voice of the GBFC fam. What do people think? I want to keep them all too. This is why I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, great. Like Marc Guiu, he's a very good player. He's a solid centre-back. He's probably would get into the starting 11, I think. But the polls are spicy. I mean, they're difficult. That's the thing. They're very difficult. We've had a few good ones today that are actually quite tough and make you think a little bit. But Tosin is bottom of the list right now. In a good way for him. Get Murillo from Forest now. Too expensive, man. Big up Vertsy doing his moderating. Guys, make sure if you're in the stream and you haven't already done so, smash that like button for me. Fofana is very injury prone. We only need Hato, says Kevin Kareem. I think you're right, mate. I think Hato would complete the defence. Back up for Colwill, back up for Cucurella. I think he'd get loads of minutes. I think it's a perfect mentor-mentee kind of relationship with Cucurella. 27 years old, Cucurella in his prime. A fantastic left-back by all accounts as well. And then Hato is potentially a phenomenal footballer too. And I think if you're going back three, Hato can play in there as well. Fofana will sell for the most. But that's the thing. Would he actually sell for the most? Because that injury record, people are not just going to be oblivious to the fact that that's in existence. Calvin Batty. Very good player, actually. Very, very good player. I think Maresca and Chelsea came out and said that Badiashile was backed, and they still thought he was going to have a very bright future at Chelsea. Do I think the squad is too big to keep players happy? Maybe. But I do think collectively they're actually buying into a team now that can actually challenge for things. Last season, I think, was a bit problematic because the Conference League, like, yeah, okay, we want to get minutes, we want to score goals, we want to batter teams, we want to win the competition. We did win the competition, but it wasn't gripping. It wasn't where those Chelsea players wanted to be. We were too good for that tournament. So now, Maresca's job is going to be very difficult, but also what a luxury to have too. The luxury of having so many top quality players that can do so many different things. Like, it's a very good big luxury to have, but the hardest thing is to ensure that you have all of those players on side. When does Denner come to the club? I think next year. My thoughts on Badiashile. I think he's a good player, but again, the drop-off was just ridiculous. And the man, like, I thought he used to be so composed on the ball, but then I think all of a sudden, like, he became the opposite. Caleb Wiley went on loan. Do I remember Dan Petrescu? Yes, Dan Petrescu was one of the first players that I was ever like, because of his name. I liked his name when I was like really young. So he's one of the players that I remembered and kind of liked first, if that makes sense. Petrescu and Zola. And Dennis Wise. And then Carlo Cudicini, because I became a goalkeeper then. Ben Jacobs, let's have a look. Let's see what we're saying. I'm seeing some people right on it. Ish Samuel Smith has joined Strasbourg on a 5-year deal for €8 million. So that deal is now done. That's another sale completed for Chelsea. Thank you, Landspick, for constantly being on the case to inform the chat. Jesper Grønkjær scored one of the most important goals in Chelsea Football Club's history. And a great goal it was too. Do-be-do-do-do-do. I met Dan Petrescu a few years ago and cried. I was 33. Love that. Osimhen dream is now over. It's officially like It's not just put to bed now. Like, we have put the coffin under the ground. We have covered it with flipping mud, silt, and cement. My thoughts on Osimhen to Galatasaray is Galatasaray are a massive club, right? And to try and put them on the European map a bit more and actually get them competitive in the Champions League, that should be Osimhen's goal. He's clearly adored in Turkey by an incredibly passionate fan base. And Galatasaray are willing to pay him a lot of money. So I think all in all, it's a match made in heaven. But I'm delighted with João Pedro. I'm very excited about Liam Delap too. So I am more than happy to let the ship sail and not bring it up again. Van Heck is a very good defender. Guys, get involved with the poll right now. If you had to sell one for Chelsea to sign Marc Guiu, who would you sell? And just for the record, I don't want to sell any of them. I would rather just not spend the money. I think we've got good enough centre-backs at the club. That's my take. Dennis Wise and Vinnie Jones in Chelsea shirts scared the shit out of others. One Chelsea legend I would bring back to play for the current Chelsea. It's got to be... I think in terms of who would I bring back now to put in our team, it's difficult because part of me wants to go on the attacking front because we're still looking to complete our attack. I think it's either Terry or Hazard or Petr Cech. Yeah. Hazard, Terry, or Cech for me. That's a good poll, actually. We could do that poll in a minute. Alexander is saying Xavi Simons off. Where are you getting this from, pal? Hearing rumours about Scalvini. I mean, I'm not hearing this from very many, if any, sources, to be fair, apart from a couple in Italy. So I don't actually know if there's any truth in that. JT all day. Yeah, probably. Like as captains go, you cannot get a better captain for a football team than John Terry. The poll does say Fofana out by the looks of things. Do line up for the Leverkusen game? Not yet, not yet. We're going to wait until next week for that. So you can stop saying that now. Could Osimhen deliver in the Premier League? Absolutely, he would have. If he would have joined the Premier League team. But he went to Turkey instead. Zola with Vialli. Two phenomenal players for Chelsea. What do I think to keep in Anselmino? Well, at the moment, he's not going to Strasbourg, that's for sure. So I wonder what the loan offers or options for him would be. On Fabrizio's Italian channel, he said that Nkunku must leave before Chelsea can make space for Xavi Simons. If that is a recent update, then that's a big update because that will really put a spanner in the works here because if clubs are aware that Chelsea will need to sell Nkunku to bring Simons in, they're not going to be offering the full prices, I don't think. Thank you, Ewan Penny. Which three Chelsea players would you put in FPL? Cole Palmer, Cucurella, and... Part of me wants to go with João Pedro, but I think he'll have to share the goals with Palmer. Part of me also thinks Enzo Fernandez will be a good player to have in FPL this year because I think Palmer will get kind of striker numbers. Cucurella will be always a threat going forward for goals and assists. Or Malo Gusto, but Gusto don't score. Cucurella does. So I would go Cucurella, Palmer, and Enzo Fernandez. I want to put João Pedro in there, but I think Enzo. Good question. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I keep tweaking my team. I'll show you guys my team. So my team is this right now. That's my team. David Raya, Gabriel Cucurella, Frimpong Robinson, Mateus Cunha for Man United. I got Baliba in there. Palmer, Marmouche, Wirtz, Victor Gyökeres. The problem with Caicedo is he's not really... Does he get many points? Annoying food appreciation noises. You're welcome. Do I play Ultimate Team? I must admit, I actually started with this current FIFA. I played for about 3 weeks. Bought a few packs. And realised I just cannot do this anymore. Like, it's literally a scam. My video went off for a few seconds. Should be alright. Do I have an FPL league we can join? Yep, there's a link. Wait, is there a link in the description? No, I don't think there is. Hang on. FPL code. Let me just grab that code for a sec. Okay, our pin. So there is the FPL code. Has Esteval arrived for training? No, I think he's joining up with the players at the same time that the players that were in the World Cup squad are. So I think he'll be arriving just before the friendlies against Milan and Leverkusen. How am I at FIFA? I'm not that good. Not that good. I used to play it a lot back in the day, but I haven't played it for a while properly. My voice and video is off. Is it actually? I don't see many people complaining about it. Maybe it is. But it's just you, I think, Stanislav, unfortunately. Video lag. I think it might just be you. Do a 24-hour stream with Eunice. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yeah, if you want to join the FPL League, it's now the pinned comment. Video off. All right. Stream is fine. All right, cool. Thank you. So what is going on here with these bloody signings, mate? It is taking too bloody long. Cool. Yeah, guys, if you're in the stream, make sure you've smashed that like button. Wondering why you're blocked, feeling. Who's blocked by who? What about match live stream in the stadium? Nah, to be honest, it's just when I'm at Stamford Bridge, it's easier to do it in America because there was not like hardly anyone in the stadium, so I had all of the space in the world. Isak terms agreed. Sheesh, thank you for the donation. Imagine Esteval explodes with us, true prodigy style, and we win the league, or the whole team just clicks. Absolute cinema. Need Hato and Simmons. That was a great little burst of energy there from you. It's a strong possibility that Esteval does come into Chelsea and hit the ground running because he's that kind of player. He's got an ability to change a game. He's got serious quality. And look, he scored a quite magnificent goal against Chelsea. Am I staying in a Chelsea Damac property in Dubai? No, I wish I was, though. I wish I was. Well, there is still no updates, guys. Chelsea are no closer than the closeness we've already been to signing Jorrel, Hato and Xavi Simons. And Xavi Simons, apparently the updates are Chelsea need to sell Nkunku before we can sign Xavi Simons, which is not ideal. And I just hope that we get the outgoings. If it is that case, then let's get these outgoings done. I don't talk about Gittins much. Well, we're going to. Next week, there is the first friendly. There's 2 friendlies in a couple of days. So we are going to be going heavy on the content next week when it comes to building lineups, looking at tactics, and just going in a bit more depth, really. Because at the moment, it's very much Chelsea news, Chelsea news, Chelsea news. The players aren't even back training, so we don't really have any updates on that. The players are on holiday. Love the streams. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. It's just fun. Like if I'm not live, I'm probably kind of either reading a book outside in the sun or going for a walk whilst looking through my phone at news, so I might as well just do it with you. One of my friends just bought a Damac Chelsea property, should be ready by 2029. It is very exciting. It is a lot more fun to talk about it with chat, for sure. Very excited for the new season. But anyway, guys, I think I am going to wrap the stream up now. There may well be another video later on today, as we do have some updates throughout the course of the day. But I do want to say a huge thank you to all of the super chatters and everybody who's tuned into the streams for showing their support as per usual. I'll keep you guys up to date if there is any updates. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave the stream. And I will keep you guys in the loop with more content coming very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll speak to you all in a bit.